They're getting back at me. I exposed the corruption in their company, and now the person standing on their side is my ex-wife, Gwyneth Paltrow.
First off, I'd like to start off by saying Chris Martin is a little rat and a snake, and Coldplay is the worst band in human history.
Picture this. You're on stage, bathed in stadium lights, ready to belt out the chorus that makes 60,000 fans lose their voices. The arena's giant screen flickers, and suddenly every eye shifts from you to a well-known tech CEO wrapped around someone who is definitely not his spouse. The internet records the moment in real time, social feeds explode, and within hours that CEO's reputation is trading at penny stock prices. Days later, you discover your former spouse has quietly joined forces with that same disgraced executive and is now helping him sue you for the fallout. Unbelievable? Absolutely, but for Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, it's happening right now. His unexpected opponents, recently resigned astronomer CEO Andy Byron and Oscar winner turned wellness mogul Gwyneth Paltrow. Their partnership is equal parts business deal and personal vendetta, simmering with ego, entitlement, and more twists than a primetime cliffhanger. Yet the chain reaction started with a single kiss cam moment most people would watch, shrug, and forget. This time, the aftershocks could shake 3 entire empires. And the first aftershock? It wasn't the viral meme, it was everything that came next. Boston, July 2025. Coldplay's world tour is rolling through Gillette Stadium, confetti cannons firing as couples sway to Yellow. The arena camera crew pans the crowd for that sweet, feel-good tradition, the kiss cam. Suddenly, up on the 40-foot screen appears Andy Byron, then still Astronomer's chief executive with Kristen Cabot, the company's newly married head of HR. Instead of a shy wave, Byron pulls Cabot close and shares a long, theatrical kiss. The crowd shifts from applause to confused murmurs as people realize who they're watching. Chris Martin glances up, spots the embrace, and teases either they're longtime sweethearts or they're very, very private. Laughter rolls through the stadium. For Byron, that playful quip is a direct hit. Within minutes, concertgoers post-clipped footage to TikTok. By breakfast, #AstronomerCEO trends above political headlines. Investors phone emergency meetings, Astronomer's board suspends Byron while outside counsel investigates. Within 48 hours, he resigns, citing a desire not to distract from company growth. But behind the corporate language, his departure is seismic. Major clients pause contracts. Astronomer's valuation dips. Employees vent anonymously about leadership hypocrisy. Meanwhile, Byron's spouse learns, along with the rest of the world, that her marriage vows appear to have been optional on concert night. Divorce attorneys from Boston to Silicon Valley begin sharpening pencils. Still, as boxes leave the corner office, Byron starts crafting a comeback, not a quiet rebrand, but a headline-grabbing lawsuit aimed straight at Coldplay. 1 week after resigning, Byron releases a carefully formatted statement across social channels. He expresses profound disappointment over a private moment becoming public without consent and hints at legal action for emotional distress and reputational harm. In simple terms, he claims the concert cameras, and by extension Coldplay, ruined his life. Legal analysts weigh in fast. Consumer rights experts note that every sports and concert ticket carries a printed waiver acknowledging possible camera exposure. Defamation attorneys point out that Chris's playful line didn't name Byron or accuse him of wrongdoing. It was, at worst, a humorous observation. Employment lawyers ask why a seasoned executive preaching integrity culture would overlook the optics of attending a sold-out show with a colleague who isn't his spouse. Nevertheless, whispers surface that Byron seeks 9-figure damages. His representatives schedule interviews framing him as a modern symbol of digital overreach. Talk show monologues have a field day. Next time I spill coffee on myself, I'm suing the weather. Memes multiply. Yet Byron remains certain a courtroom will deliver redemption. What he lacks is a high-profile cosign, someone with cultural flair to shift public sympathy. That someone, unexpectedly, is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth Paltrow. I've been hired on a very temporary basis to speak on behalf of the 300-plus employees.
Exactly 14 days after the kiss cam ignited social media, Astronomer uploads a sleek 30-second spot to its platforms. The camera opens on Gwyneth Paltrow in a minimalist office, all neutrals and soft lighting. She smiles serenely. "Thank you for your interest in Astronomer. Innovation is built on curiosity. The ad ends with a tasteful logo and a hashtag ad disclaimer. Fans are stunned. Gwyneth endorses many ventures, but why link up with a firm whose CEO just stepped down in a media storm? The timing looks less like a business alignment and more like a personal chess move. Gwyneth and Kris finalized their conscious uncoupling in 2016. Though publicly cordial, multiple insiders claim Gwyneth felt the settlement undervalued her role in supporting Coldplay's ascent. She reportedly argued the band's polished image and resulting sponsorships benefited from her Hollywood-powered public relations savvy. Kris maintained that song catalogs are not community property. Lawyers hashed out a compromise, both sides moved on, or so it seemed. Now, Gwyneth's cameo in an astronomer commercial positions her right beside Byron, the man plotting to sue her former husband. Paltrow's team insists it's a short-term consultancy. Industry columnists speculate she is quietly advising Byron on narrative architecture, corporate jargon for shaping public sentiment. Ironically, Astronomer's official press kit now uses phrases straight from Gwyneth's wellness playbook: emotional alignment, holistic accountability, curated transparency. Chris Martin, blindsided, reportedly tells friends Gwyneth is turning personal history into a branding exercise and handing Byron a media shield he desperately needs. On the spreadsheet, Gwyneth Paltrow is worth roughly $200 million. Acting royalties, bespoke product lines, real estate flips, a Netflix docuseries, and of course, the Goop empire. Chris Martin's wealth sits near $170 million, comfortable but slightly behind. Friends say Gwyneth views numbers through a competitive lens. Small gaps feel like public scorecards. The 2016 settlement left Kris with full control over Coldplay's master recordings, royalties that continue to flow like a never-ending stream. Some insiders believe Gwyneth wanted a long-term revenue share, not just a lump sum payout. When she didn't get it, she promised herself an eventual win. So when Astronomer offered a lucrative appearance fee and an indirect chance to unsettle Kris's world tour, she allegedly accepted without hesitation. For her, the partnership isn't primarily about income, it's about narrative dominance, proving she can influence global headlines with one cameo, while Kris defends himself on back pages. That said, her decision carries risk because Gwyneth's own corporate world is facing scrutiny far beyond product-scented candles. Journalist Amy Odell recently released an exhaustive, unauthorized biography on Gwyneth that shines a less than flattering light on Goop's inner workings. According to dozens of former employees, the office environment is an unpredictable blend of spiritual jargon and high-pressure deadlines. Turnover from 2023 to 2025 reportedly surpassed 140 departures, including multiple executives. Staffers describe mornings that begin with mindful breathing sessions and end with midnight emails demanding rebrands based on lunar energy. Some claim product claims often tread a fine line between aspirational and unverified. In 2021, Goop settled a multi-million-dollar consumer protection case over marketing language related to, among other things, its now infamous intimate-scented candle. Odell's book also revisits Gwyneth's decades-old controversies, allegedly removing an early copy of the Shakespeare in Love script from former roommate Winona Ryder. Lighthearted, yet eyebrow-raising quips about preferring a risky snack over budget cheese from a can. Public remarks comparing the challenges of Hollywood nepotism to those faced by newcomers. In each anecdote, the common thread is self-assuredness, often applauded, sometimes criticized. So why align with Byron? Analysts suggest the same confidence fueling Goop can morph into competitive fire when a chance arises to reshape public sentiment. Partnering with Byron is dramatic, high stakes, headline guaranteed, and to Gwyneth perhaps irresistible. While Gwyneth courts attention, Astronomer's crisis team battles a revenue slide. Newly appointed interim CEO Pete DeJoy launches culture listening sessions hoping to reassure remaining staff. But morale surveys reveal exhaustion and skepticism. Internally, some employees quip that partnering with Gwyneth replaced one headline risk with another. At Goop, board members quietly commission assessments of workplace satisfaction. Whisper networks hint at a potential shift toward more traditional, compliance-friendly leadership structures. Skeptics, however, fear change may come too late if Odell's findings spur broader media follow-ups. Observers note an irony. Both companies, each grappling with reputational turbulence, have effectively merged narratives. Astronomer benefits from Gwyneth's star power. Goop absorbs newfound visibility among tech audiences. Whether that exchange balances out or compounds public skepticism remains to be seen. Enter the opinion pages. The Guardian publishes a think piece warning that concert kiss cams exemplify crowd surveillance culture, subtly painting Byron not as unfaithful executive, but as an unsuspecting citizen caught in digital crosshairs. Analysts trace the essay's talking points to PR memos floating around entertainment law circles, rumored, though not proven, to connect back to Gwyneth's advisory circle. A Variety column expands the angle, suggesting Coldplay profit from participatory voyeurism that can inadvertently injure fans. Social media timelines split. One side insists personal choices have consequences, the other worries about online shaming spiraling beyond proportion. In late-night comedy monologues, the debate is simpler. If you take your not spouse to a sold-out stadium, maybe skip the hug and kiss portion of the evening. Viewers laugh, but the underlying divide remains. Are we witnessing fair accountability or an over-amplified pylon? Legal experts widely predict Byron's lawsuit will collapse. Ticket purchase waivers, combined with his public figure status, make the privacy claim an uphill battle. Defamation arguments appear even thinner. Chris never used Byron's name, nor stated a fact he knew was false. Most attorneys expect a quiet settlement if any filing happens at all. For Astronomer, the bigger danger is client trust. Several Fortune 100 partners reportedly placed contracts under review. A prolonged court fight could deepen concerns about leadership stability. If revenue continues downward, late 2025 might feature additional restructuring or even merger talks. Goop faces a crossroads. Should more former employees confirm Odell's portrayal, sponsors could request clearer oversight on product claims and HR practices. Yet Gwyneth's personal brand remains magnetic. Streaming platforms are still courting her for wellness series. The question is whether that allure can withstand a news cycle fixated on workplace culture. Chris Martin stands to gain empathy. Fans view him as the accidental bystander in Byron's saga. Still, he's preparing for potential distractions during tour dates in Asia and South America. Close friends say he's focused on charities, renewable energy projects, and global health initiatives to keep the spotlight on positive impact. In the end, the story leaves a lingering puzzle. How did a single kiss, flashed for 30 seconds, pivot into lawsuits, celebrity endorsements, and global debates about privacy? Is this the inevitable outcome of hyper-connected culture, or a cautionary tale about unchecked ego colliding with public scrutiny? One certainty, the encore isn't over. With egos this sizable and fortunes this vast, the next headline may arrive before the confetti from the last show even settles. So while you're planning your next night out or your next corporate brand deal, remember, in an age where any camera can become a billboard, the most viral story might unfold 3 rows behind the stage long before anyone sings a note. Stay tuned. These 3 worlds, music, tech, and wellness, have only just begun their uneasy duet.